Each year in our country, more than 400,000 American children are removed from their families because they were being abused or neglected. These children did nothing wrong. If a relative or family friend can't care for them, a social worker tries to find them a loving foster home. Many potential foster parents prefer younger children and say that they are not interested in fostering a teen. But foster teens provide the families who take them in with a unique gift, and they deserve permanent homes. Listen to Antonia.
Oh my God, these questions. Here we go. What does it be? I want to say being taken away from your parent or parents. In a lot of cases, it's usually one who's usually involved. And living with a family that you have no idea who it could be until your social worker or whoever's dealing with your case tells you when it's okay to go home.
The new home.
At first, it's hard to call home. It's not home, it's called a house or your living situation. Like, you're so used to calling someplace home, but you can make it your home or you can't. So when you walk into a place, you are surprised and you don't know what to expect. And I guess the longer you stay at a place, you call it your home. In your head, you're like, okay, you're going to stay here for a few days or however long it takes. You really don't know, though.
What was it like for you?
Scared. But in my situation, I had my sister, so it was a little more comforting, but for me, it's very scary. The house is, you're away from your mom, you know your mom's not going to be there at night to tuck you in, or you're not going to go hang out with your friends. You're going to go stay in this house that you're like, you don't know anything about. You don't know at the time what's going on either.
Did your situation work out okay in this new home, or did you go through other homes, or did you ever have a good home?
I was in and out of the system, in and out of the foster care system, meaning I would go in foster care for a couple of years, then go back home, and then go back in foster care, and then go back home, and then go back in foster care. And then I finally stayed in it.
Out of your control, right?
Yeah, I had no control over it.
That could be very, it makes you uncertain.
Yes. Oh, yes. When you think everything's okay, but then months go by and everything's not okay. Lost, because you don't know what's going to happen next. You don't know how long you're going to stay at this house. You don't know what's going on with it. In my case, I didn't know what was going on with my mom at the time. We'd have our weekly visits, but it's not like we talked about the situation. It's more like, how's school going? How are your friends? It's not like, how are you feeling? What are you doing to get better kind of thing. All you know is, you know that it's good when my mom was graduating from a program.
Have you ever had a feeling of loneliness?
Mm-hmm.
How does that feel?
It's sad not knowing when you feel like no one is there to help you. Like, there might be all these people, but deep down inside you feel no one can help the way you're feeling, and no one can make you not feel that way. There's parts that I've been angry about my mother and the choices she made. And in her point, she was thinking it was the best for my sister and I, but on the other side, I know for me, I didn't like it. And I know my sister is super angry, so there is anger towards the situation, but then I have to think it wasn't my control. I had no control over what was going on. Maybe when I got older, but a lot of the times I had no control. So I guess that what made me, that when I think of the anger that I did have once I got older, I did have a little bit more sane things, but...
How would you like me to feel about your situation, your history?
Oh, you don't need to feel sorry for me. I'm not a victim. I'm not a victim. I don't feel like I'm a victim, you know? Like, that was my life and that's what happened. And yes, it's sad, but you learn from it, you know? Like, like right now I say I don't want kids, but maybe in 10 years I want kids. I don't want to put my kid through the same situation I went through. I want them to have a stable home and not go to so many schools. So you make better of your life, I think. You know, like, yes, there's times where I do think, what if my life was different if I didn't go through foster care and I lived my mom? But then I'm like, sometimes I think, what if I lived my mom, I don't think I would have done this, or I would have done this, I wouldn't think of school, or, you know.
Hopefully, hearing from Antonia has you interested in becoming a foster parent of a teenager. To find out more in Santa Cruz County, California, visit www.fostercareforkids.com or call 831-345-2700 or contact your own county's Family and Children's Services Agency. Thank you.